Now let's go to the other side of the coin. So Brian Kelly didn't punch any tables in the press conference, but this is not a good place. So you're already guaranteed he's going to finish with his worst record at LSU this season. Now, that's because he won the SEC West his first year. They won 10 games last year. They're going to lose. They've lost 4 games. The best they can do is 9 wins. They might lose to Vandy. It's entirely possible. Like I was talking to the LSU beat writers who were waiting for Brian Kelly to show up, and they were talking about, well, how many empty seats are going to be in Tiger Stadium for this Vandy game that LSU might lose?
Yeah, no, the bottom fell out there pretty good. And
I'll give you a stat. So they were up 17-7 in the third quarter at Texas A&M. They have been outscored 100-35 since then.
And during that span, the onslaught of scoring was coming against the most important team on your schedule and the team that your fans compare your program to.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And Brian Kelly said something interesting today because he was asking his SID Michael Burnett about the stats, and he's like, what was the time of possession? And Michael says it was 41 minutes and 43 seconds, and Kelly's just like he knew it was a lot, but I don't even think he realized it was that much, and he's just like, how do you lose? And then he says, which is it's a good quote and also true, there are no pats on the back for holding the ball longer. You have to score. There are no pats on the back for winning the SEC West at LSU. There are no pats on the back for coaching a Heisman Trophy winner at LSU. You have to win the national title or they're not happy with you. And the fact that they're regressing in year 3, I don't like where this relationship is headed.
Yeah. There was a pretty crazy play in this Kansas BYU game. BYU punted and the ball hit the back of a Kansas blocker and it bounced off of a BYU player, and then Kansas landed on it inside the 10, which could have lost them the game. So it was pretty crazy.
Yeah, it looked like BYU was going to get it, and then the Kansas player slid in and got it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it hit his shoulder pad and bounced backward. Okay. Yeah, I was kind of... I think we knew that LSU wasn't great all year. I didn't know that we would get to this point where they're like, we're talking about empty seats against Vanderbilt, but I am very interested in the temperament of the fan base in terms of how they feel about him heading into next year. Like, I thought morale was probably pretty good a month ago. I bet you morale is pretty down right now.
You've also got the Bryce Underwood part of it. Because remember, Bryce Underwood posted on Instagram on Friday that he's probably going to turn down Michigan, which sounds like I'm coming to LSU, that he's sticking with LSU. And Bryce Underwood, for those who don't know, is the #1 quarterback recruit in the class of 2025. So I think that's one thing to watch, but it sounds like he's pretty solid there. And I do wonder, so Brian Kelly's talking about doing more on offense. He fired the whole defensive staff last year, so he's not like Blake Baker's fine. That group's fine. If I were Joe Sloan, I'd be watching my back. But he's also fairly important to the recruitment of Bryce Underwood. So I'm very curious to see how this goes, how the whole recruiting class shapes up. It's looking very good, but you have situations like that. DJ Pickett, who's one of their cornerback recruits, he was at Georgia today. Does that mean he's going to look at Georgia, seriously consider it? I don't know. But that's a 6'4" corner who's really fast, who, if he goes to LSU, that's the kind of corner you're used to LSU having, and they don't have him right now.
Yep. All valid, Andy. All valid.
So, yeah, I'm fascinated by that situation because it's an unreasonable expectation. But when the last 3 guys won the national title, it's really hard to say it's unreasonable.
Yeah, DJ Pickett, the type of recruit that should be going to Florida.
Well, now, he's got family that played at Miami and Ohio State, so it's not like he's a legacy. He's from Zephyr Hills. I know way too much about this because I used to cover high schools in Pasco County. So the Pickett family is very famous there in Zephyr Hills Bulldog lore. So I wouldn't be surprised if he goes where he thinks is just best for him, because he's
also a recruit that should be going to Miami or Florida State.
Yeah, he's got multiple uncles who played, one who played at Miami, one who played at Ohio State, telling him, hey, and they both play in the NFL, and say, hey, you make the best decision for you. Play in the defense that helps you the best, that puts you in the best position to go to the league. Like they're not worried about how close to home it is.
Yep.